be one to get you into a 3-2, and then you'll be there with 2 other teams to battle for one last spot for the Americas RMR. It ain't going to be easy.
And one of those teams coming up today will be EG or Liquid right there. They've got a matchup later today, and yeah, it's gonna be a difficult road if you end up losing this. This is the time to do it. This is the time to get your spot at the major in Antwerp. If you want to get your tickets, you can pick up one of the QR codes. I'm sure will be on screen at some point throughout this one. But Imperial, as Chad was saying, CT start for them. We'll see if they can get off to a good start. Their CT sides have been pretty solid so far.
Yeah, and if they can keep manufacturing ways to get Fallen into these opening picks, it's going to be difficult for Party Astronauts to battle back with number disadvantages on a map like Inferno. But into the pistol, 4 players top mid, 1 player over towards B. But don't worry about B, it's all mid. The fight, all 5 up they come, past the line of sight, and the biff is on. But no one landing shots until FNX and Fallen find 2.
Yeah, significant numbers here right now for Imperial, and just the sheer force stops the push through top mid.
That was a lockdown right there. A 4-man crossfire top mid was destined to deal with a setup exactly like that. So throwing their bodies into the blender, Imperial pick up the pistol. And now we likely see an eco out of the Astronauts. No plant, no extra cash, no likelihood to get out those AKs or Galils. But this type of a map can feel very quick. This type of a map here, when so much is on the line, can really run away from you, especially if you want to play a faster style. You feel like you get into the round, you die. You get into the round, you die. You need to make sure that every round is given as much focus as you possibly can here. It's an important environment where you find yourself.
Deep Molly goes down into mid. Just to assert some control very early on. Party Astronauts don't really have the weapons to wholly contest in this round. We're going to be rattling some shots through the bottom banana smoke. They've taken control of this with a flash peek now as well, just putting some pressure, taking away a significant part of the map.
A couple of little objectives here, waypoints within a round for the Party Astronauts. 1, milk through all this CT utility. Force them to expand their smokes, their flashes, HEs, and incendiaries. Make sure that they use all the goodies. 2nd, if you get a kill or 2, great. Forcing rebuys of rifles and armor into the next. And the bonus, the key prize, the one that your in-game leader would love the most, a plant. If you can slip the net, if you can get into the site, if you can get that bomb planted, the smile from ear to ear on Mr. Ben Leet will be huge. But look at this, Bolt's aggressive, pushing on down, finds a fight, MP9 sings, and Jonji finds himself in the grave.
Boltz is looking to farm. He's got himself a couple of rewards already. He's got the Combine Harvester out for taking a little end of his, taking himself some crops, and it's closed down as Imperial now head to 2-0. Keep it flawless.
Okay, well, they managed to get the first option done, forcing rebuys the utility. So that's one little positive here. Knowing that there's a lot of MP9s on the deck, these AK-47s will have some real troubles in the close quarter engagements. You might even see Imperial go for something aggressive here. A mid-push, a banana push, take the fight, force Astronauts into an awkward position early. Let's see what they have to offer here. They've been saving for this. Straight out the gate, 3 players aggressively T-stairs. Ben going to drop a smoke to dissuade any banana aggression, and one goes either way. This would be a great bonus round. Oh, dear. That is a very, very meaty nade. Jonji down to 45, Pone alone sitting on 17. That is a massive amount of damage to stomach early here. And I was about to say this would be a perfect bonus round here for Imperial. You pick it up with 4 MP9s and a FAMAS, you upgrade it to AKs. That would be fantastic. And the nades have done all the damage here. Pone alone. Well, it wasn't a cheeky way to find a Fallen opening kill on an AWP. It was nade damage alone.
Rough start here for Party Astronauts. Now Ben Leet's got to figure out what he can do, what winning formula is available with the pieces he's got available, and they're damaged. They don't have a lot of utility on a couple of players, so they'll work with what they've got. Jonji looking to set up for a peek over the half wall, but just keeps getting flashed.
Yeah, this
now the
is
molly
harassment, isn't it?
Forces them back. And they've taken top banana control back here, Imperial, and they've put Fur in a position where he can actually get aggressive with a follow-up flash here if he wants.
Here it comes. They're lining it up.
Oh, this could be a nasty finish to the round. Fur goes into the open. They're low, remember. It's actually Boltz has found that first, and somehow Fur doesn't get a single kill. Boltz actually doubles up, and Fallen swings out for the last. It is Jonji who is the remaining player left for Party Astronauts, and he's got to run away.
Yeah, he's going to save. All of these rifles can be retained here by Imperial. There's 2 in Banana right now that can scoop on up the upgrades into the AKs. And late from top mid, you might even see the likes of Vinny make his way downtown. FNX could be content on this FAMAS, and they are starting to swarm now to scoop those goodies. Falling into an AK, you're going to see Bolt pick one up soon. There it is. And Vinny coming to sniff out what he can find. They have got all of the upgrades here. It is looking beautiful. And FNX, what's he going to go for? We'll stay with the FAMAS as opposed to the Galil. No, he did. He did get to the Galil in the end. Never mind. Well, that's the best bonus round you could have. You know how we spoke about Nightmare Start in the previous map for Imperial? Nightmare Start right now for that of Party Astronauts. You would hate after how competitive map 2 was, the victory they had on map 1 of Nuke. You would hate for this one just to fall by the wayside. We know which team has the experience in terms of bucket and spades here. So Astronauts, hopefully they don't let the nerves and the moment beat them.
They don't want them to defile their dream. Getting to that major, everything thrown into this. Just pure passion is what's fueled this roster. Not finance, not infrastructure. Just pure passion of Counter-Strike. I'm sure everyone at home can sympathize with that.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that was it all about, right? That's what you're here for. That's why you play, for the love of the game. Currently a 2-3 setup, but Fallen's in swing. You can see him as the little blue dot on your radar, number 1, making it back and forth between the bomb sites. Another meaty nade, so util damage is one of the issues here, and the util looks good throughout. Vinny into a pop flash. FNX plays for info, sees it's clear. They don't have to worry about a waterfall out apartments now. They really do just have to avoid this AK of Jonji, who hasn't been able to grab them too much space early. He shows face, or at least sound, with a spam through the long side smoke. Bolts on his lonesome here. A flash and a push is on Bolts. Spotted. Smoke would be good now. He's holding on to it. Maybe too long. They're going to keep coming.
Yeah, Bolts gets away. It's not the most fearsome peak of Glocks going around the corner first.
But look at the rotation as well. 2 players back on over. Fur and Fallen helping out Bolts with this one. Double flash and go.
They look down to the back of the site. Bolts takes up position from Dark. Usually good enough with the rifle to try and sever off some heads. And Fur alongside him. A couple of kills. Dished out. Bolts recovers. Composes himself and is able to collect another. But Jonji, 1 versus 3. 15 seconds left. He can force him out with a molly. You have to go to the bomb now. You cannot play for elimination because they're not going to give you that chance. You have to get on the bomb plant right now. Just enough time, perhaps. Saving the 8K. He's committed to that now. He's gone into ruins. He can't die after time. But he can't die after time.
He'll be right. He's all right here. And the kills are great. It means he can invest into some utility. But there felt like there was an opportunity to plant at least there. I think the reason they was held at bay is expecting the responders to be there a little bit quicker. So, look, considering what the round was, it's okay. Right? It could have gone much worse. I think the tone of your voice about him dying after time more than spelled out just how bad that one could have gone. But they will buy back in. Alt for Pwn alone, alt for Fallen.
See if Fallen can get back to his old tricks of finding these openings and stifling the initial attacks of Party Astronauts. Now we have talked about their prowess of being able to somehow turn disadvantages into round wins. We've seen that. They've had to play with a player down quite often. I think that is going to be the case when you have a player like Jonji on the team though, right? It's one of those players that will either get an incredible pick for you, put you in a good position, or he will go down, and you're going to have to learn to play with that.
Exactly. Exactly the case here. When the openings come through, you're going to love it, but when he goes on down and doesn't get you anything done, you're going to have to learn to operate in that 4v5 disadvantage here. So
the old Fnatic had to do that with JW. If you listen back to some interviews, they had to learn to play in the 4v5s. They became very good at it in practice.
SK had to do the same with Fur.
Yeah.
Right? A very aggressive player. Well, Vinny... Oh, it's actually going to be Fallen this time. There's a flash. Perfect work and the double swing. So prepared for that little cheeky move, aren't they? There's an opener.
That actually only flashed FNX in the end. Fallen flashed off his angle. Vinny in pit. Inferno can often be a talking point when you look at this guy on this map. He's taken down DJ. Vinny's now trying to hold this side because his teammate's gone down without a single kill. It's done. You have to save this one.
Great stuff, and I say big miss for Fallen there. He gets that kill, retake's probably on to become a bit more of a manageable situation. Yeah. But the fact that they are unable to profit off the back of that,
a couple of moves that looked good for Imperial, but just didn't quite hit the mark exactly, and Party Astronauts just take it.
Looked like Party Astronauts were ready for that flash peek as well, because they, as soon as the flash goes off, they both swing from either side of the stairs. So ready for that type of info play, lulled on in and drawn into that one was FNX. So unfortunate for him, but score does read 4-1 in a moment's time. The Astronauts will get on the board here. Now I think that this game in the first half is definitely going to be a bit more save heavy, right? We've already seen Jonji save the AK in a couple of rounds. We're now seeing Imperial save. their rifles. But once we get onto the second half, if this game is closely contested, if it's a back and forth affair, the retakes will eventually have to come on in, right? Unless Imperial are just able to, sorry, no, it's going to be Party Astronauts on the defense. And Party Astronauts can just lock out the defense. It is going to start getting very, very tall of a task. It's one of those gamer sleeves you keep hyping up, Dinko. Vinny's a fan.
Yeah, they are pretty solid. The problem I have with it, I always lose mine. And then
You lose your gamer sleeve.
Yeah, I have to go and find it again.
Do you have to wash the gamer sleeve on the daily? How sweaty they get?
I don't get that sweaty. So for me, not really. But I assume some players probably sweat a bit more than me. Don't really sweat in my games that much.
Fallen, edging. Millimeters away from death, and here's the Jonji opener. That's what we were talking about.
And that was more Bolts pushing into Jonji rather than him pushing through the smoke. So that is going to cost Imperial the initial advantage. It actually got caught by the flash there, but Jonji dances with death, and Fur will remove him through the smoke.
Yeah, I was about to say 2 consecutive rounds here with a fantastic opener from the Party Astronauts, but now it's been given over. Hard to convert the 4-on-4 now, especially if DJ pushes too far forward. They're allowing him to play Lurky Boy over towards A. They are trying to pressure onto Fur here, who has multiple pieces of utility to keep on limping through. Has just dropped a smoke towards the long side to try and work with here. Fallen repicking middle as well off the back of this. Flashed off, held at bay for now. Space has been taken. Looking likely to be an A play here, and there's 3 players to defend for Imperial. Right place, right time.
Fallen, how? Hasn't taken the kill. Vinny now set up with an opportunity to deal with the top mid push, and he's done very well. And taking down 2 players, goes back out. Oh, that's ridiculous. On the spin back, Ponalone lands the shot on Vinny. Maybe that keeps the dream alive in this round.
Look at the time, though.
Yeah, that is a problem. But, okay, Ponalone with a bit of magic in the AWP now. Inside of the side is Fallen. And this time he can't miss. This time he won't. Shot connects on DJ, and Ponalone will be put in the ground. Fallen removes him. A little bit of style plucked out of the round there for Ponalone.
He was still looking pit. Did he not know he got that kill? maybe not being able to piece the puzzle together. Yeah, but the thing is, the 2 A defenders were dead, right? Vinny and FNX both went down, so...
Interesting.
Oh, good. There's a secondary B stream update for everybody. That is 0-0 Nation versus 9Z. Started off with 9Z winning the first, 0-0 Nation 16-14 victory on the second, and now they have a 4-1 lead on the third. The winner of that game stays alive. The loser is eliminated from the Americas RMR, and we will get a timeout called here. Jonji is already purchased. Ben can get into a Galil, so there shouldn't be too many dramas on the buy. Now, Viz not purchasing yet fills me with some confidence that maybe they want to bring out that AWP. You'll see in a moment if he buys that, he'll drop it over towards Ponalone, who could buy it himself, but it's more about managing the money, right? Just because you have enough on your own, you want to make sure that everything is smattered as evenly as they can, and they will. They'll exchange AWP dropped, Ponalone will get that. Both of them are able to get away with full utility, and Ben into the Galil. So no dramas as far as the buy goes here, but this is starting to get away from them now, it feels, Dinko.
Tries out Banana. It's quick on the utility here for Party Astronauts, trying to stop any early control that Bolts has been throwing at them. Done a good job putting Jonji back in the position again.
Yeah, just being slowed by nade after nade. Jonji on half, DJ on 69.
You always hate being the first player up Banana. This is just your round, basically, pretty much every time. He is close now. Looks like it's just going to be a commitment towards B at the moment, Chad.
Wouldn't be a horrible call, but do they want to allow this AWP to work? This is the thing. If you invest in an AWP, you have to have a plan for it. It can't just be as simple as take Banana and execute. Retake utility. Pone's ahead of this. Pone's picking. I think Pone's been spotted on the jump. Gets a tag, but that's it.
Oh, just the type, but Jonji rapidly racing.
They know there's 2 more here.
To the second pick, and they have to know significant numbers stand here. They still have time, but they're still committing to this. Bolt has found the head of DJ. Now Vinny goes through the smoke. Bentley stops him from getting any further, but initial damage already done for Imperial. Bolt hides behind the smoke. He's so significantly damaged because of the shot from Ponalone mere moments ago, but Bolts is still alive and still sprinkling damage. Denies the plant. Viz has to come off. Puts it up on top of the coffins instead. And now a 2 versus 3 in the post plant.
Hard round to win now. Viz is half. I know Bolts is low, but they're flashing. They're pushing forward.
So many flashes. So many flashes, but Viz still holds it. Now it's down to a 1v2. And Bolts has to come into the fight, and they read his position. Bentley brings him down. And Party Astronauts, what a turnaround.
How do you win that round? You go into the stack, you don't even trade efficiently. They're able to pick up the lion's share. Bolts does so much work. And they can't get through on the retake. It felt quick, it felt desperate, coming through the smokes. Never the play you want to make. And the flashes were good, just not suppressing enough. A great round for Party Astronauts. Just as I'm saying, it's getting bleak. Well, Shoe on the other foot right now. Imperial have to force. CZ, Deagles, 1M4 in play. This is the changing and turning point of the game here. If Party Astronauts can convert this 3-round gap is going to close up. And forward towards Banana. Name of the game, avoiding that. Fur flashed off, fallen down. More utility thrown forward and trying to seem bigger than they are. Ben, is he going to expect the boost? They want to head towards B again. The half-wall smoke is good. It allows Fur to find that fight. Isolates a Jewel, gets them an opener. Ben, a hero of the previous, is dead early in this one.
Well, Jonji, the flash is so good. Just before he gets blinded himself, he removes bolts.
Okay, well, they level the playing field here. They're still going to have to do a lot of work to get back into this one. When they went A before, it didn't feel great. I think a B play again would be nice to see. They have so many smokes to do so. The only real position they have to account for is Fur on the boost. If Jonji hard clears, Fur is going to have a rough go of things. Vinny's starting to float with the idea of a rotation. He's over towards the CT arch. It's FNX on his lonesome. That's not going to be the right call now. As you can see, Vinny's starting to cheat on over. Fallen the boss man has called the stack. That means he can turtle up a little bit more in towards the site. It's going to be a difficult round right now for Party Astronauts.
They have to be methodical. They have to consider every position. I love the tuck of the head from Fur, and that allows him to come up with the element of surprise.
Bomb's
Even if
loose.
they check towards it, they would not see him. And the bomb is now down in the smoke. 15 seconds left. Chaos could still ensue as the lineup nearly there for Fur. Bomb will go down. Resmoke not going to land in its position because it bounced inside of the fountain. With FNX going down at Banana, leaves Vinny removed at CT. So he'll pick up a weapon, and on his way out the door, we'll try and save it to the next.
Okay, moments there where that gets sketchy, doesn't it? The bomb dropping that far forward in the smoke. Imagine if it goes past the line of sight, and then they have to run into the M4 to try and recover the bomb with such limited time. DJ to cut off the rotation has heard all of this, and the bounding Vinny will fall foul to DJ. That is a big round to win. We know what that means in terms of the scoreline now. 5-4 is a timeout called, and I'm saying 5-4. I'm trying to see into the future here, because it really should be a Party Astronauts fourth on this T half. I don't know what we're talking par for the course between these two teams. I don't know if 5 or 6 is necessary, or if something a bit more like 7 or 8 from the Party Astronauts will be required here, but 4 almost feels like a lock. A conversation will need to be had, and it feels like a round early. Because what are you going to do? You're going to buy into this round with 2.7 at the high end, 1.9 at the low. Maybe this is just having Peacemaker there to tell them, look, guys, it's still early. We don't have to be too concerned with how this one unfolded. It's not over just yet. But they will take the 30-second breather just to chill on out, take a bit of a deep breath. And actually, the Party Astronauts have taken a timeout off their own, off the back of this. So 30 extra seconds taken to make sure everything is as good in the hood.
They just know they've lost to a lot of these kind of rounds before, right? They're just trying to figure out what economy looks like over there, and obviously dealing with half investments can become a problem. They shouldn't have too many issues ahead of this, but maybe a game plan being employed for the next few rounds of this T side.
Yeah, I worry a little bit, though. You've seen the slow pace, and this slow pace has carried across since Dust 2, right? It was very late rounds in Dust 2 because they were fed up of giving away opening picks. Now, if they consider this to be a threatening buy, they would be very, very wrong. This is the type of a round where you like to get a bit more pep in your step. And wow, actually crossing mid and back again.
Yeah, you don't want to let the round stagnate and give opportunities to pistols, but Jonji collects an opening. Vinny down. Apartment stack with 2 players in that.
Yeah, now you have a bit of a better idea of what you're dealing with here. As long as you avoid this P250, it's very hard to see how this one goes wrong. It's now a 3-man setup as FNX will join the fun. Put Fs in the chat because we got Fs in the apartments right now. Fallen, Fur, and the Phoenix hanging on out.
We've got Pickle and Phoenix with we've got the acronyms throughout. Definitely prefer the Phoenix. First wings for the P250 pick. You can't really avoid the P250 if it comes to you, and FNX will go down. Now Ben Leak hunting through the apartments. Looking to try and keep this one at 4 players up.
It is still quite slow, but they've already taken out the lion's share of the force here, so it's just about being considered in the approach now. As long as you go in together with wide enough spacing, trade should be no problems. CT Arch Smoke deployed. Really taking their time with this one. It's good stuff to see the astronauts understanding the gravity of every single one of these rounds. Remember, on Dust 2, losing to the lighter buys on their CT side was a big problem. Now this is definitely not the type of round you can give up. A lovely shot there from Fur, but that's all it's going to be. Bolts, last man standing, starting to make the long rotation around the world here. Would love to get an exit rifle, maybe over towards second middle. Might be able to find something out.
Yeah, I've been on the receiving end of a P250 shot like that recently. It's never fun.
Yeah, watch the highlight.
It's not great. It's not great. It's just ridiculous. But right now, at this point, Party Astronauts on Inferno. This is actually a perfect round to slow the nerves, calm the nerves down a little bit. Because I'm sure coming into this map, you've just lost Dust 2. You obviously know what the ramifications of this game are. You need a round just to kind of settle in. You didn't get off to the best of starts, but now you've got the breathing room. And Bolts will be tracked by Jonji. The hunter will find his prey.
Yeah, I think everybody understood the situation there. They knew where the corpses were. They knew where the rifles might be. And Jonji making sure that nothing can be found. And even if it is, the kill comes on through. This is fantastic stuff now to give us a competitive map, right? I love the fact that we're a one-round ball game here. Imperial back into the buy, and the fallen AWP is slightly lacking. I'll have to rip that one out of Pwn Alone's hands, and he's going to go towards Banana here early, giving us a bit of a Zywoo-esque maneuver. Aggressive flashed, and the shot hit. First down.
Yeah, Pwn Alone with a lightning fast start, but Bolts is hunting down the AWP. He will find him in the corner behind the logs, and Vinny through the smoke. Oh, what a disaster. This is the worst start possible for Party Astronauts to lose their advantage and lose the 2 picks like that.
Look at all the util that's being used here from an Imperial in the early gates just to make sure that there's no push. They only got to smoke a couple flashes left on over. If Astronauts can react quite quickly or even regroup and execute, they can get a 2-2, or sorry, a 2v3 fight on either side of the map. Sure, they lost out in that exchange in Banana. They've just thrown some util towards A as a bit of a fake here. So they've used a lot. They need to get up Banana and quite quick smart here. Ben leading the charge, calling the troops. If they go on this, it's 2v3 on B.
It looks like they're going for it. It looks like they're committing to it. The strength in numbers here for the T side. But Vinny, usually so good, so intelligent how he plays the coffins. He's just looking for that one pick, and he's got it. Now they don't check Bolts. The initial kill strong. The setup is good. And the wide swing out from Bolts, forced into the open by utility, and still confirms his kill under pressure.
I can't believe they stuck to their guns there. Fur got clotheslined. That shot from Pwn Alone was massive. It's the Zywoo move. We've seen it once. We see it again. But just the trades coming on through, and Jonji's going to be feeling very hard done by that he got found through that smoke. Now, all in all, the call was good there late from the Party Astronauts to go back towards the site. It was good. They put so much pressure on. They get the smokes in. They kind of fumble as far as the second wave of utility comes, but the decision was the right one. Ben's going to try and set up this Banana. Pwn with the AWP again. The back and forth biff of this matchup. They didn't get the AWP over for Fallen here. It is going to be a 2-3 split. Without the hefty Banana control, they do get what they're looking for, but it's more systematic. It's not the 50-50 coin toss and fight. This time avoiding the nade damage. So making sure there's no early casualties. Now as this one simmers on out, you can see a minute and 15 left on the clock with not a lot of space taken here. But by not pushing in early, again, they weigh out so much util. So if Party Astronauts can identify this, look at what's left over. A smoke for FNX. A couple of flashes, a HE. That's it.
Bolts going to relent control of Banana. Now goes to the back of the B site. And this gives a lot of control and a lack of info.
They're fighting. They're picking. They're looking.
Yeah, the information coming back in the mid-play. Fallen goes out, gets 2. The significant force is cut here for Astronauts is now they need to recover some control of this round with 30 seconds left. They want to take top mid, want to try and fight brackets, but Fallen is here, and he has got his friends alongside him. He's got multiple players over on this side of the map, and that makes it very difficult for Party Astronauts to crack open a hole.
Jonji's going to see the bat. Oh, not anymore.
Not anymore, but right now you still got to deal with the pit, and they're eventually going to have to try and force their way onto the site, dealing with this crossfire between them in the side. FNX strikes into action and topples 3 heads.
Beautiful stuff right there, and I love the detail of that one there from Imperial. They knew that they did with light on util. So they knew that they had to take a fight, and they did. They crawled out mid together, and they traded efficiently. Beautiful stuff. In lieu of the util, take the fight, get the room, force the Astronauts into a decision. 7-4 as an extended lead now for Imperial, and pistols is the best thing the Astronauts are going to have coming into the next round of play, round number 12. This one's come in patches. We've had the pistol round with the conversions and the first gunny going in favor of Imperial for a 4-0 start. One back, immediately responded to, and then a spree of 3 from the North American side. Now it's Imperial's turn to put the pain down range. 3 likely for them in consecutive fashion. Then they're going to need to get something on the way out the door here. Here's the triple kill from FNX in the pit. The flashes. Fantastic work from the 2 of them.
It's rough here for Party Astronauts. I mean, I think both of the rounds now they've lost in a row here. It feels like they've had great opportunities. Fro's going to send down the HE. Utility really dominated control of Banana for the time being. You can't really contest or try and go up there quickly with these pistols and lack of armor. You would be turned into mincemeat. Just taking the time with this one.
Yeah, this is what we spoke about in the earlier stages, and without the plants, it just means that your buys on this T side, they're just going to be a little bit flat on, aren't they? I know in this situation, even with the plant, it wouldn't have been a full purchase, but it could have been better than 5 Glocks. You know, it could have been some Tech 9s, maybe some Deagles, maybe a light bit of util to try and initiate something. They are aware that the economy hasn't swelled for Imperial just yet. If we take some inventory right now, we can see that Fallen is at 4.450 and Vinny at 3,650. FNX and Bolts both at the 1,900 mark, and Fur with 900. So as far as the rebuys go in future rounds, it could have been a problem. Astronauts know they're not going to be able to do a lot of damage here, so the win bonus likely to come through for all 5 of Imperial staying alive here. Their only chance in this round is to run down Bolts, who's currently jump peeking. As soon as he takes some contact, like now, he's going to throw out this nade and spam. 1, 2, make it 3. Bolts is looking for the clean piece, but he has gone down into the site they need to trundle. They're throwing away the rifle, knowing the rebuy is possible, but you need to die, boys. You need the loss bonus.
Looks like they're going to run... Well, they tried to run boost. Acrobats, not exactly the strong suit.
TK.
And team kill on the way by. Probably better just not heading mouse one, really, down that jump across.
Yeah, should have just given over. Run out with knives in your hands. And
sacrifice.
They look like we're going into what could be a technical timeout here.
A little tech issue.
Well, this is a very important game, so let's make sure we've got all those bugs out of the system here before getting this underway. I don't know. This is looking great for Imperial now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's looking fantastic. It seems like they've just slotted into the comfort zone now. It feels systematic. We're not really needing anything miraculous coming out of them. It's just good fundamentals at this point. Good team play. When tested, everybody's kind of hitting the mark. There's no real weaknesses to exploit at the moment.
Yeah, and it's great when you have Fur on 12 and Bolts on 14. So the 2 of them doing some work right now. On the other side of things, the highest frag is a 7 for Jonji and 7 for Viz.
Yeah, it's been rough. And I mean, Jonji, how many times, up banana, really the only key to taking that banana control, he has had a rough time dealing with the utility that's just been coming and bombarding him. Inferno T side, you can sometimes feel a little suffocated. Perhaps he could be a player to create some of that space for them, but you really have to force your way through into these fights, and Imperial's utility has been on point. 4 rounds, definitely not going to be enough to compete here.
Yeah, I feel as well with one of their rounds. I'm just trying to reflect on how it went down earlier. It was Ben and who was left with Ben in that tour? I think it was it Ben and Viz on the site? Either way, they had that retake situation that they were able to dispel.
Was it Ponelong, perhaps?
Potentially. But they dispelled that retake and the number disadvantage, which is around that. Basically, my point is they probably shouldn't have won it. So,
yes.
what do we? How are we going to be able?
So that's
to,
not sustainable for the future, right?
Precisely. If we want to put it succinctly, you wouldn't think it's my job to talk here by any means, would you? Now we aren't back underway here just yet. We're still sorting out the issues.
Did get a question, Chad, about pizza.
About pizza, okay. What about it?
Are French fries allowed to be on pizza?
If you're in Sweden, yes.
I think French fries are awesome on pizza.
I think pizza you can put whatever you want. It's just bread, whatever you want to put on top.
Yeah.
Just do it.
The problem I had in Sweden with pizza is they don't slice it for you.
Same in Germany.
Yeah, it's weird. And so I ordered the monster pizza like 3 a.m. at a hotel, and it was like 16 to 18-inch pizza, and it wasn't sliced. So I had to turn it into a burrito.
Exactly.
Like a huge burrito.
But it was just for yourself?
Yeah,
that's okay. Because then you can get with your hands and stuff. But if you're sharing with other people, it becomes a big issue.
I don't really like sharing my pizza a lot, Chad, to be honest.
I understand. You ordered it. You want to eat it. It makes sense.
At 4, though, we're back. Tech pause undone, and we can now focus up to this incredibly important match for these two sides. Imperial in the comfort seat, but Astronauts are looking to put some pressure onto top Banana. Utility is good onto Fur. At least forces them back. It puts some pressure on them. And, well, Jonji has a bit of space to play with now.
Finally, right? They've been getting dictated to in Banana.
This. Fallen has a gap on the left side of the smoke. They can walk into this, but Fallen, he's holding. And he's going to be good for it. Kill picked up. He goes back again.
Oh, crazy that they would peek into that smoke. Very, very interesting to go into that one way. The swing onto FNX. He's under the pump here, but that smoke is actually going to work in his favor. They can't test the issues anymore. Spamming on through the wallbang. Not far off at all, but the nade should be good. Ricocheting off the door and right into the face of 2. And yeah, a decent start with Banana control, but now the round is feeling like it's almost done. A flash towards Banana. There are 3 players over here, so at least the bodies are in the right place for the Astronauts. But look at this pit play again from FNX. He's been good.
He has been fantastic when called upon. Hasn't really been needed a lot of the time because Vinny at the back of the site has done the initial job. Now FNX. More lead, mid uncomfortable, forced into the open. Because of that, will be open to Jonji, who will remove him, and Vinny hits the deck inside of the site. Party Astronauts have fought their way through. They've skirmished and got the site.
Okay, retake right now. It is still possible here. Coming late up mid will be Fur. They've got kits. Fallen with the AWP has a flash and an incendiary here to try and make this one happen. And they're all going to be coming through the short side. Steps being made now. Bomb about to hit that halfway mark.
Now the Molly clears the back of the pit. Jonji has taken up position on the midi side of things, and Bolts hits the headshot straight away into the site. Jonji down now, just Bentley, and he cannot find enough power to close it. It will be Imperial who pull off the retake.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Simple stuff. Just walking up through shore. It felt way too easy that the shots didn't come the way. I don't think they thought it was happening. And the ones who invented the slow retakes, Fallen, Fur, and Co. These were the ones who loved the slower plays.
Kind of listen in on the comms a little bit. I don't understand what they're saying, Chad.
No, I don't speak Portuguese.
Need to learn some of that. Maybe we would understand these guys.
Obrigado.
That's about it. That's all, really. I went to a nice Portuguese restaurant, though. Very good food.
Was it a Brazilian barbecue?
No. It was more of a pretentious style seafood restaurant.
So Nando's.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There you go. See on the money, Nando's, seafood. Yeah. Anyway, this is a bit of a problem now. I suppose if you want a positive, I'll give you one. The bomb went down.
That's one. That is a positive.
Yeah, so with the max loss bonus, the bomb going down, the buy is looking a little bit better here. Timeout has subsided. AK's back in the hands. Alt for Fallen still ringing true. Tense there in that retake. You'd love to get one more going into halftime if you were Party Astronauts, and I'm sure Imperial will be happy with double digits as well. Gonna need to be the CT lockout required here. The pistol has to go their way deep. Only down mid. Ben needs to keep his head tucked for now. A quick smoke towards the long side, but mid control has been retained here. Molly nade combo drop. Nobody going to comp any flak damage to that. This is more direct. More direct out of the Astronauts. I think they're going to hit 8 quickly, but through the smoke. First found the opener.
Yeah, Bentley just removed.
Oh, another.
Oh, it's a disaster, isn't it? It really puts a stinking mark on right now for Astronauts. They are in a rough spot.
They just have to go.
They need to get out, but FNX, he's got one again, and just efficiently, if everybody just gets one kill right now, it's going to be enough to cripple this attack. Oh, just over a minute left. No real ground gained either.
No, and they need to get the bomb down again to make sure they can buy into the next. So
Smoke and a
regathering.
flash.
Yeah, look, right now, look at the positioning on the radar. Bolt has opted to play retake on B. So here's the deal. If they smoke CT and flash and his spam does not connect, they can get in and they can plant. That is the key right now to at least mean that next round can be competitive. If they don't get in and they don't get that bomb down, hold up a second. First transitioning over silently now through the speedway, not giving away any sound cues. You can see here shifting, making sure he's going to get over to dodge.
They have a smoke. They have to use it towards CT. It's gone down. It's good. Oh, but through the smoke again. Doesn't even need to see his opponents.
Get the bomb, boys.
They have to get the bomb. It's in the smoke, and they might boost over the top. Oh, this is rough. As soon as that plant comes in, as soon as that sound's made, that boost is going to send Fur over the top to deny. Oh, but he's caught. Fizz ready for the play. Commitment to the plant has not been stuck, and now they will pull it through. Can they close this out now, the party astronauts? They're into the 2v3 post plant. Fizz is position known at the back of the site. They don't have a molly to clear this out. They only have a flash and an itchy on the Imperial side for the retake. Ponalone watches towards Ruins. They're now creeping closer to the side, and Ponalone with a headshot. He nearly gets the follow-up, but it's all on Fizz. All the pressure on this young man's shoulders. He's got a headshot up against the Professor.
Oh, the nade missed.
Fallen on the other side. The nade does not connect. And Fizz waiting. Shot goes out, drawing the time.
Oh.
Fallen gets it, gets back to the defuse. He's going to hold it through.
I can't believe it again. They almost get away with this B site take, right? They did it earlier. I said it wasn't sustainable. They almost make it work here, and a great little retake there coming on in from Imperial.
But they need rounds now, Chad. It's not good enough. Just come close so many times, but 4 rounds is all the scoreboard reads.
Well, this is it. That plant, it does get the buys back out. The AKs, the Galoos, they can be purchased up again. The final chance here to get around on the T side 5. It feels mandatory at this point to close this out. Might even be 6 consecutive rounds here by the Brazilian side. This is great. They're setting themselves up on the pedestal required to get themselves to the major. The old boys have still got something left in the tank. Utility towards Banana. Ben charging through. Needs to find an opening, but has been given the space. Up mid. Ponalone's found FNX. Just tap, tap, tap away. FNX is dead. Finally an opening, but Bolt has found one back in Banana. The biff is continuing.
Rattling back and forth. But a lull in the action for just a moment is now Imperial. Have to deal with what is going to be an A play. Imperial with Fallen, a boiler with the AWP. It's a close shot, but there's so many players here. How does he get away with a second? Vinny able to help him out, and now it's just DJ. 5 rounds. They need it here. Party astronauts need everything they've got, and DJ, he's taken the life of Vinny, needs to force the life out of another. And the bomb is back. It's a boiler. And Fur has occupied the apartments. He is the tenant. He is the squatter right now. And DJ looks to evict him. But at the time being, the timing, DJ slips back, but it's execution from behind. 11-4, Imperial in pole position to take the spot available at the PGL Major Antwerp.
Yeah, that is a Fallen classic right there. Combat Orping, one of the OGs, up close and personal, gets 2. Felt like 1 was all he should be honest there for, and that's it. They are now just those 5 rounds away from closing this one down. Fur, Bolt, 17 kills apiece, falling up to 11 with that double. 8 for Vinny, 7 for FNX. On the other side, 9 for Viz, topping the charts. 8 total here for the likes of Jonji and DJ, and 7 apiece for Ponalone and Ben Lee. But they need to change that, and they need to change that right here, right now, and it needs to kick off with the pistol. The odds are blown on out. The astronauts not favored to take this one. Remember, you lose this, you're not out. You're down to the 2-2, but an onslaught of games required. And this is how it kicked off. They were trying to line up some nades and just tapping away here, finding FNX's head through the smoke. It looked good to start, but that is the best they had to take home in round number 15. A slow start from Imperial, not rushing into this, taking their time. 2 towards second mid, 3 in the mid corridor. Can work up Banana as well. 4 towards A for the astronauts, and 1 man standing on B. All the pressure on Jonji's shoulders if they do come knocking on his door.
Imperial. Flash goes around the half wall, clearing out the sandbags. Jonji with the HE sends it in.
And finds nothing. Finds absolutely nothing. So all the utils so far for both sides for naught here.
If they go back into the apartments, this could be a bit of a bloodbath.
It's 4 up mid.
Still significant forces can be committed to this. You have got DJ that will alleviate the pressure from the Boiler player, and Fizz should be set up here for a nice shot. Fur gives him a fighter's chance, and Fizz doubles up. Elsewhere, Ben Lee getting one lovely shot from Fizz as the bomb down, and now Vinny in the 1 versus 4. He'll slip the long smoke. Comes through. Oh, lovely shot as well. That? Now Vinny looking for one towards Arches. Don't want to give this guy too many chances. It is his map for a reason. No one looks, and Fizz turns. Oh, crazy pace though, but Viz with a 4K from Boiler.
Okay, well, that's what they needed. Now, they desperately require this conversion. They can get themselves back into the game here, Astronauts. You get this, you get the first gun round, you force them back down to pistols. How quickly an 11-4 score can chop and change. But Viz, massive shooting right there with so much pressure, knowing exactly what that pistol means. Lots of work here to do for the Astronauts and Imperial. They're going to let them have it. They're going to go for a lighter scenario. Why not? You made it work on Dust too with hardly anything. Let's see if you can do it again here. 2 P250s. A chunky nade lobbed on through. Nobody up close and personal. They're going to sit back. They're going to wait this one out. Imperial are in no rush.
Just taking their time here, Imperial. Drawing out every piece of utility to force the rebuys. Just drain as much economy as you can in a round like this and focus up into what will be your gun rounds in a few.
We saw something similar in the first half. Imperial operated with 4 MP9s and a FAMAS, and then they went forward into the bonus round and converted it quite cleanly. Only took 1 casualty. Everybody upgraded into an AK or a Galil. That is how the half started for Imperial on their CT side. If the Astronauts can grab that recipe for success, if they can mirror that recipe for success, they can find themselves in a fantastic position regarding a potential comeback. Nade softens them up. Gun now out. Ben drops a safe incendiary there to just hold them at bay, and Jonji's going to make a field day of this. 2 for him, 2 for Ben. The MP9s get all 5 kills in the round. They need to operate as cleanly now with these MP9s as what Imperial did in the first half. This is a fantastic opportunity that has been granted to them. A very good way to establish yourself back into this map, which means so much. Almost a eidetic looking buy to what Astronauts brought into their first gun round. 4 AKs and a Galil. Very similar scenes here.
First sends the flash out. He's actually got beyond the molly, so just hanging around, but Vinny's been taken down by utility. He's down to 21.
Okay, it is seeming very similar here. But look at this. Look at this gamble rotation from the Astronauts. Everybody now residing over towards the A bomb site. What the hell are they thinking? They've completely given up Banana. This is either a genius read or a massive misplay right now, as they were expecting a fast react up top mid. It didn't come their way. Jonji now needs to claw his way back over towards the B bomb site. The MP9 in hand, the smoke is his best friend. The responder coming on through is now Ben. He sniffs that it's not going to be the A player immediately out the gates. They retain the top mid control. Ben should be joining the party on this B bomb site, but it is just MP9s to lock it down. The execute being lined on up, and that's the opening kill. Jonji's gone. The bomb site's open.
And the smoke couldn't come down, so Ben lead his rotation. He has to get something done,
no!
But unable to do it. Bolts will remove him. And party Astronauts, it is a little bit of a fumble over there. It is a bit of a nightmare.
Look at the smokes on the floor. There's 2 of them.
Yeah, they could have used them up, but just getting caught immediately. Jonji didn't have time to deploy. The walk-up from FNX trying to get involved does get found by Viz. Impone alone has rattled away a kill. That's an AK. Somewhat down. He couldn't actually get it with an E, so he doesn't have it in his hands right now.
But Viz is coming over. They could give this a go. Vinny's still low. 2
players
players over towards Banana. They can smoke it off.
They can. They've got multiple smokes as well. They've got flashes here. This could become a bit of a disaster. Falling. Look at
through the smoke!
That is perfect. That's the foundation of the boost gone. Bolt stepping up the back of the side, and he knocks down every dream they had. The retake was starting to come together, but Bolts removes the essential pieces.
Oh, they got lured into that. Those kills coming their way. The top mid lurk, the kill over towards the coffin's position, and the frag through the smoke. It felt too good. It looked too good for party Astronauts. This shot from Fur, the opener that Fur got was the key to the entire round onto Jonji, but don't worry about the key. Worry about the door getting slammed in their face. Massive stuff from Bolts right there. A big 3-piece. The bonus round didn't get them anything.
Bolts has been the best player so far, right? MVP over on Dust 2, 22 and 10 right now. The amount of multi-kills he's been having is incredible. Great to see Bolt back in the server and fragging.
That little detail. I cannot believe Jonji gets caught on the jiggle to further without getting the smoke down. They called the bluff, didn't they? The party astronauts thought it was going to be an A play off of their early banana control, not to be the case. And you can see how much this sucks now. A 6-round game in the favor of Imperial here. They couldn't get it done yesterday against MIBR in the 2-0 column. Well, they're going to make good on this promise to the Brazilian fans. I'm sure there's over 100,000 people watching a Gaules stream right here, right now.
When Jonji swings into the bomb.
That's the bomb. It's ahead of the wall. It's ahead of the wall here.
Oh, it goes around the corner. Now they got to use utility just to get that back, and that's not even a great smoke.
Ben can smoke this off. Drop your smoke, son.
They can just move towards it. They send Ben close. He's going to actually play for it. Deep smoke comes in, but Ben's on the other side of it. He's behind enemy line. Needs a kill. He's still here, but it goes down. Bolt's headshot. Oh, he is pulling this back again. Bolt's trying to drop away. And Pone is chasing after them, trying to stop them from getting together, but the bomb is on the back of Bolt, and it's bolting its way back up middle. It gets around the corner. Pone alone is chasing, but Bolt gets into the apartments. It's a hot chase right now, and Pone alone is still tracking him, but just running away with 20 seconds. Bolt gets out, gets to safety, gets to the site, and the bomb will go down.
And they know where Pone alone is. The sound cues have been heard. They've been noted. FNX is in his favorite spot over towards Pit. Viz, he has a HE, it could be perfect. He banks that one off the back wall. FNX is dead and it's a 1-on-2.
He has to use it. He has to put it in that position. It's being lined up. Good night, FNX, and hello, Bolts. A 1v2 needed. The clutch for 2. He's found one already. A single player left, and oh, finally. It's a round for the party astronauts. Viz to the headshot. Bolts goes down. And the defuse being stuck.
Wow, what a way back in right there. Pone alone. What an insane sequence in Banana. The chase through the smoke. And they're laughing because what a calamity of a round it could have been. The bomb drops forward at the half wall. There's smokes everywhere. Ben takes a swig of the drink. The headphones come on off. We got a bit of a tech issue here, but wow. What a round of Counter-Strike that was. I don't think I've ever seen quite a hot pursuit. Conversations are being had. We are in attack here, so lots of chit-chat going on.
Maybe something they have to converse about fixing. I'm sure the admin will give them a little bit of leeway if given it's all about tech issues.
All right, well, FNX is disconnected from the server here, so...
I think that would be a little bit of a problem. But there we go, a round picked up for Party Astronauts. What a wild battle in Banana. Bolts nearly does it. The professor teaching FNX the ways of the computer. He has been away from the PC for a while there, FNX.
He's been out doing it all, hasn't he? But, as the old adage goes, no FNX, no major.
Yeah.
Now FNX is back in the mix.
Maybe a chance to keep his crown. FNX, that's him getting destroyed by the HE that was nicely lined up by Viz to close out with the clutch.
I feel like if Imperial... First of all, they have to qualify for the major.
Obviously,
but then if they win the major, Anders is well and truly controlling some form of a simulation. There would be no question anymore. We wouldn't have to worry about asking the smartest minds. We just know exactly how it would be. So it's definitely a conversation being had. Oh, look at that tidy beard. And a bit of a braid.
Oh my,
yeah,
Vikings right there.
Got a lot going on there, doesn't he? Well, trying to sort out the in-ear situation. FNX not back into the server just yet.
Let you guys listen in.
Maybe so we can get some translators out there live.
Yeah.
Let us know what they're saying.
Jonji still having a great time. I mean, they're just loving it being here, aren't they? Just living the dream. Playing Counter-Strike. They never really get to go, for a long time, never really got to go out to play in Europe. And
well, we did have a whole global COVID situation.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess that made life a little bit harder for everybody, didn't it?
And it made a question mark, you know, that Team Chaos that Jonji was a part of, right? The rally cries to keep those guys in Counter-Strike. Obviously, some pieces had to go elsewhere, and now we have got Jonji who's stuck around, hasn't taken offers elsewhere, and is committed to playing here. It's hopefully going to pay off at a certain point.
Well, a lot of those guys that went over, especially the notable names from the Counter-Strike scene that went over, have either returned or have retired. Yeah. So, you know, that's actually truly no surprise. But
Leaf is the one player I was pretty upset about leaving.
Vanity's over there as well.
Yeah.
He could have been like one of the next in-game leaders after being under the tutelage of Steel, right? So I think that's probably going to hurt the next wave too. But this is where the Sheikh Zulas, this is where those type of individuals like Daps are going to be important. Stanislaw now back down in that realm of Counter-Strike to try and bring up a team.
Imperial have actually taken a tactical timeout after the tech pause, so they are currently in that, so they can talk throughout this one.
Yeah, understandably so. The money's in a bit of an odd spot. A half buy right now wouldn't be too shabby into the next 2,400. So if you leave yourself enough money right now, you add the 2,400 on in the next round, and you should be able to get a bit of a buy. And well, curiously enough, FNX is sorry, not FNX, Fur, three-letter F names, has fully invested here. He's gone into a Mac 10 with some head armor, with a nade, with a smoke. Now, this is very telling. It might be fast. They have 3 HEs as well. If they want to nade top mid or top banana, if there is an aggressive maneuver from party astronauts, they might get bowled on over by the flak damage. And that could be a great way to kick this one off. Freeze time has subsided. We need to see where these nades end up. Over towards second mid. So the nades here could be used for the pit position, Dinko. That could be where they get deployed late. A Molotov up top banana is merely to hold them at bay. One over the top from DJ. This is an A set piece, and right now, the party astronauts only have 2 players on the bomb site ready to deal with this. The AWP of Pone alone posted in the apartments, and DJ up close towards short. They have to get multi-kills. If it's an A hit, they have to. The rotation is so far away.
We see these balcony pops work time and time again in a round like this with the Tech 9s. Jonji running down banana.
Actually, by dropping further back from the positions they held, I feel like this gets worse for the astronauts. Fortunately, the rotation should be here in time.
Yeah, they haven't really shown any sign of going, but
Pick
now
up the
they
smokes.
do. And here comes that execute, but astronauts have rotated extra players over here. They bolstered the defense. It should be their round. Against the weaker weapons, DJ and Ponelon have taken the initial kills. Bentley's run out of ammo, but swings with the USP will get taken out by the Tech 9 of FNX, but they get the information of Jonji's play down banana, and they're able to make the rotation in time.
If you're a North American Counter-Strike fan, they're a sigh of relief. Because if that came in earlier, it would not have been as many numbers near the site to defend. Now, I mentioned that Fur fully invested in that round. Well, now he is actually, I think, getting dropped across a gun. So FNX is going to take a Tech 9 on the ground and give an AK to Fur. Giving one of the stars a big gun, I can understand that. He actually doesn't want the Tech 9. He'll take a Deagle instead. So there was a pistol on the ground that none of them have picked up, surprisingly. So a bit of miscommunication from Imperial here, but scoreline reads 12-8. A 4-round game currently. And fallen loud towards second mid as by presence alone forced out some defensive utility from the party astronauts. He ran all the way up with a bomb. He's going to drop all the way back down towards T-stairs to help set his team up for a banana play now. Some util from Ben Lee to try and enable Jonji. Flash over as they crawl on up.
The smoke goes down and towards banana. Imperial held behind it for the time being.
I think they might just wait this out.
Oh, they're going through it. They're going through it. Vinny's gone through it, and Jonji goes down.
Oh, no.
Oh, now that might just be the signal to go. The flash has slowed in for just a moment, but Ben Leet, he's doing everything he can, and he won't get a pick. He's down. Imperial continue to charge to the site. It is empty, and astronauts have no shot. It is the save call.
Oh, they really do sometimes just live or die by Jonji's opening success right there. They had him out towards the sandbag the whole play.
But no commitment behind it, though.
Yeah.
He was just alone.
But the thing right there is as well is the entire time Ben was retaining utility in his hand to set Jonji up for a flash and a peek. The flash and the peek didn't come. They used the retake banana utility with banana control. And then Ben is out of position. Jonji not ready for the utility to be disrespected. And Vinny finds the way on in the door. 2 kills for Inferno. That's 13 rounds secured. And the party astronauts have to save. They have to save. The loss bonus into the next only 1,400. I don't know what they can do now. The game at this point, that should have been a round where at least the party astronauts could have put up a fight. But the score 13-8. 3 saved guns. Pone alone can drop a Famous. Jonji can maybe get into an MP9 again, but yikes, this is feeling like the game has just really swung in favor of the Brazilians. Imperial just 3 rounds away now. 3 rounds is all they need to get themselves into the PGL Antwerp Major.
For the party astronauts, so close. So much needs to be done now to get them back in with a puncher's chance to head to that major in this series. If you are just tuning in, do not be afraid. Astronauts will not be completely out of contention for that major spot, but it does become a lot more difficult when they head down to that 2-2 bracket. All the teams down there, a couple more matches you need to play through, and a lot of competition still in front of you if you're unable to win this series.
Yeah, it's so many more best of threes. It's 1 best of 3 just for survival, and then potentially 2 more for qualification. So it's become a very arduous task. Flash misses, not the end of the world for will be still getting the space he requires. Jonji again out towards sandbags. He was given the FAMAS. Ben is going to be operating with that MP9, and I think the most important piece over towards B right now is Pwn Alone's AWP. You can see Ben rotating back to set up some util to try and enable some space. Jonji rotating on over towards A, and Imperial, they're in no rush. 3 rounds, that's all they need.
They've been here before. They've been here many times. So this team aren't going to be feeling the rapid heart rate racing as much as the likes of Party Astronauts for their first time, right? So for Imperial, it's now just getting the job done. Getting these 3 rounds as they're setting up towards A. 4 players over here right now for Party Astronauts.
These stacks have been a positive and a negative for the Party Astronauts throughout, and this is all coming down to being a little bit more gambling, trying to make a read. They know that they've left Pwn alone with the AWP top banana. They are hoping that he's an early response. He can find a shot and fall back and drop the smoke to not get run on down. The closest point of rotation will be Jonji, but he has no supportive utility. He will have to spam through the smoke with a FAMAS. Banana util now. Pwn slightly blind. They're coming his direction quite quickly here, 30 seconds.
It is very quick towards this B side. Pwn
alone
alone has to be tested.
Through it.
They go through the smoke, that flash. Pwn alone from the back of the side. It is just a single kill, but a gap in the smoke has set up Jonji for the pick. Inferno goes down, and the numbers still favor Party Astronauts thanks to the singular pill.
This has a flash.
Inside of the side, and they go through. FNX holds on, goes back in. A second collected for FNX. That bomb is down, and now it's all on Fallen. Galil in hand, 14 rounds. Lumen, if he can pull off the clutch, and he won't. Party Astronauts get back into the B site, and they're barreling towards the 9th round.
Okay, well, recovery in a big way. Pwn getting 1 kill on the way in there was great. It was really suppressing utility. I thought the trade was fantastic, but imagine the detail of a missed smoke costing you the site. That was really it. A missed CT smoke. We see that way too often on Inferno. An unforced error on the way on in. Jonji will profit right there. A plant is great. A buy, very possible. And the last timeout called here from Imperial. Curious that they've called this one so early. Peacemaker still realizing that they have control of this game. Understanding the situation, takes 30 seconds, talks them through the next round of play. The buys come back on in. AKs for everybody. Util to boot. The AWP retained. Pwn gets that back. A FAMAS for Ben. Couple of M4s and an AK for DJ. There's enough utility. Everybody has a kit other than Ben, so no dramas in the kit watch department either here. This could be a bit of a turning point in the game. And this is the opener that we're able to catch out. And this is the massive void of a gap. Jonji licking his lips. Mop up the mess here to keep themselves in it. But 1 more for double digits and 1 more to break the bank of the Brazilians.
Pwn alone. AWP this time heading towards middle. Jumping across, blinded. No information collected on the initial jump past.
Patience from Imperial, isn't it? They're just happy to bide their time. Big chunky nade onto Jonji, dropped on down to 50 points of health, and another one for good measure. 23 is all that remains.
Jonji's been chunked down a lot in these early rounds.
We obviously have a stat that shows utility damage. I would like to see one that shows how much utility damage received, because I'm sure Jonji has just been this absolute meat shield time and time again.
Pretty sure he started most rounds with at least 50 HP, especially on the T side.
Not the way you want it to be. Ben is now taking up his position with a jump peak. Because of the low HP of Jonji as well, you're not going to feel comfortable leaving him on his lonesome. Top mid, util deployed. Some in exchange. I think Pwn needs to be the opener for the team again here. He has to clear out top mid. It almost feels like a must, because if they could do that, they can cheat a player over towards B, because Fallen stuck in his ways. I think they understand how easy this might be just to crack open the bomb site. Wait, are they considering A? 44 seconds. More utility lob towards long.
Ben lead. You want him to catch a good timing here. You don't want him to be out of position. Utility flash. He's in the open. They've seen him.
He's dead.
Vinny's hunting him down, and Ben lead out.
Surely this is it. He's got 23 HP.
Jonji at the back of the site. The headshot through the pillar.
Safe.
Bit of overkill and a save call again for Party Astronauts.
Yeah, you can just see how these rounds are going to unfold.
Yeah.
And how can you not identify now for the Astronauts what they're doing? They're waiting, they're waiting, they're waiting, they're executing B.
Yes, and I mean last round as well, Imperial, they're going to say that it was just a missmoke in CT. You fix that, you're back to it.
Yeah, this is rough now. This is really rough. Imperial looking good. Looking very good to close things out. 13-9. Going to become 14-9 in a moment's time. The fact that they were able to win one back is put Party Astronauts back down to the bottom of the barrel loss bonus. So only 1,400 again, and this time there's not as much residual cash to drop out the same levy of weapons. If they want to take the save, if they want to keep it conservative, it's going to give over potentially a 15th. But there is 3 saved guns. We've got the utility damage on screen here for everybody playing at home. Bolts with 323 and 303 for Jonji. So he's been giving some, but he's definitely been copping some. But they have forced again. It's MP9s around the saved guns. It's Ben and Jonji over towards B who are just getting brutalized. You have to change it up. And to do so, they're bringing Pone across again. But they need to retain some map control. You either need to keep top mid or top banana. This is one of the conversations that is around Inferno a lot, is information. If you're in the dark, you can just get set piece after set piece coming your way. They're big nade chunking on down on 3 players. They're coming up, they're coming quick, spammed on through, damage done. Viz is in trouble.
Oh, Jonji now unchecked because of the distraction, and the MP9's got to. And Sinderi going down, trying to slow this one, and Jonji nearly gets the kill through the smoke. Better weapon now upgraded to DJ in the pit. His teammates coming back to help him out, and Jonji leaping through the motor smoke back into the site. Imperial trying to charge forward, but DJ disallowing their safe access. And this one is much better. Bolts now into the clutch, and this one looks impossible. He's going to try and slip his way around the back. Nearly had a chance, but Jonji with a mega round.
Huge stuff from Jonji there. He's happy with that. He's happy with that. Trying to keep the spirits high. A very important round. They're up to the double digits, but they have not broken Imperial yet. Imperial are just constantly breathing down the neck of the Party Astronauts here, who are just hoping they can survive, just hoping they can hold on to this ledge. But what would you revert back to? The B plays, of course, and he gives the camera a wink for good measure. This is the situation right now where you've been working this B bomb site so much that you have to know as the Party Astronauts, it's where the play is going to finish. It doesn't feel like there's any doubt in my mind that that will be the play. Default heavy, wait out the util, regroup, regather, execute over towards B. Pone retaining this line has already been flashed off. They have to keep some space. Remember, top mid or banana, you need information of some variety. It's not enough to just sit on your haunches. You're not going to win out against full executes. And they don't have the control. And they're limping utility back for naught. They're not taking the space. They've used an incendiary, a nade, a flash, and it hasn't given them anything. Jumping in, that's a way back in. Vinny has given one up here.
Party Astronauts look to see it through. The advantage collected, put alone. Repositioned to the back of Coffins. Wants more out of this.
This is a power position from Bolts. He can hear so much. He can understand the rotation. He can lurk on out. He can be an active lurk. He can be a passive lurk as his teammates attempt to work on the mid control. Out top mid. Flak damage onto the toes of Fur. This is where Fur can do some of his absolute best work. Over towards the library position. One to deal with Jonji. Smoke is going to keep him planted. Back towards B they go. And Pone, he's actually been drawn back on the rotation.
Smoked off, Bolts held behind it. Flash coming over the top, they're just going to send it, they're going to go. No smoke for CT, and Pone alone will happily collect it with the AWP.
How do you get past this now?
You have to walk past an AWP. Eventually they'll smoke it, and shot from Fur, Jonji down elsewhere, and now Ben lead at the back of the side, has got a lot of pressure, but FNX has cracked his skull wide open. In mid, there is a draw, DJ best Fur, and it's down to 2 here for Imperial.
DJ and Pone alone are so low. There's a real opportunity here. Fallen and FNX can win this. It's really going to be on Viz on the highest HP. There's kits in play.
From the back of Dark, FNX will take up position, Fallen more elevated, looking towards the coffins for the swing. They know where Fallen likely plays this from, but FNX is covering off his CT push forward, and now Fallen's turn, but he has not passed the test. FNX at the back of the site, needs them to line up, and oh, it will be Viz to close it. Team kill in the midst, but to the defuse he will go, and Party Astronauts still in this series.
Doesn't matter how you get the round, take your teammates out, get the defuse, get the AWP back. The plant, great here for Imperial to continue to be this threatening force, this problem for the Astronauts, but again, they're holding on. 2 consecutive rounds finally here in the later stages of this half. They need the third right now, and this is what gave them problems over on Dust 2. The light buys with pistols, but Pwn alone gets a gift. 2 opportunities come his way, and he does not falter. Great stuff from Pwn alone on the AWP, but right now you cannot drop the ball here, Party Astronauts. You fought so hard to get your way back into the game. You forced Imperial down to pistols. This needs to be a guarantee.
Oh, good nades coming over from that barrel at short. If you line it up, you can bounce it onto the balcony. And that'll eventually give you some damage off the top, but not too significant.
They've got 3 nades here. They tried this before. This triple nade towards Viz's position in pit. He'll go down. That's going to apply so much pressure to DJ and Pwn with the AWP. If he gets smoked off towards Moto, big issues on A because Ben and Jonji are far away for the rotate.
Viz throws down the smoke to deal with a molly, but the headshot is going to work out. Here come the nades. Viz still up, still standing. And this is looking good for Party Astronauts. They're dispelling this attack forward. The bomb's still on the balcony. It bounces and bolts will fall. It is just Fur inside of the smoke, and DJ, ooh, showing us some style.
Okay, well, they're in it now. And oh, another TK. Viz just got knifed. Viz just got knifed. Yeah.
Confusion on Jonji's face right now. At least they're laughing it off.
As long as they're laughing, because they need to drop some guns here. That isn't going to come back to haunt them in this round. It might come back to haunt them in the next. Here it is. Spray in the body.
How?
Why?
That's
how.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, look, a love tap, we call that one in the business, I think. Well, we're having some giggles, but this is an important game. Pwn alone posted up. No AWP on the other side and under the crosshair. They will duck, they will dart. Utility drop banana. Vinny will have to extinguish here just to keep himself alive. And I feel like the B executes are still on the docket. If there's a menu right now at Fallen's restaurant of in-game leading, the B here has to be the main course. And up banana they come again. This time a bit light on as far as the execute's concerned. A smoke and flashes. That is it. That is all they have.
Ben Leet takes position at Coffin, his teammate towards the back of the site. Oh, this could get a little spicy.
The pass is crosshair.
Oh, Ben Leet unable to get a kill from his peak. And now he's going to go down as Jonji at the back of the site, and he gets taken out. Vinny takes down 2 with a Galil. And a nightmare potentially ensuing again here for Party Astronauts. First push into the ruins, and this round looks in ruins. Luckily, Viz will find the headshot, but it's the safe call. They don't have money to compete.
And they don't have money because of that TK as well. Right, an extra gun had to be reinvested into here. They had to rebuy. They need to keep these 3 alive. Do Imperial want to chase now? This B bomb site is being battered and bruised. It's rough over there. They're losing on timings. They're losing to flashes. They are just being spanked on B. This is abysmal. They need to get their act together over towards that side of things. It's only been potent when they brought that Pwn alone AWP over to close things down.
Well, Ben Leet absolutely had an opportunity in the bag there. They were blinded. They were completely looking the wrong way. When he peeks out from Coffins, you just have to select a target. You have to just take one down. It sets up Jonji, but it is unfortunate. And that's what can happen. Nerves in the moment, perhaps, but 15-12, it is Imperial. 1 round away from going to the major.
Yeah, well, this right here is the death knock now for Party Astronauts. It almost feels that they're going to get executed on at the B site again. It just feels destined to happen here.
Running up banana, 3 forces. Jonji gets into the mix. His first kill is there, but Fallen burns him away. The Molotov will incinerate Jonji's early play. And now we're back into the 4v4.
Low HP on Pwn here. Going to be an issue, I guess, not so much with the AWP in his hands instead, but they're now changing the tune. They're heading towards A, and Astronauts are calling their bluff. We've lost B time and time again, but we're going to fortify the other side of the map, trying to read the play. Putting all their eggs into the Pwn Alone B basket right now. Hoping that he can stand, he can deliver where Jonji and Ben have not been able to. The crossfire in pit can be rumbled. Plenty of utility to deal with that. No smoke to extinguish here. Top mid control now being worked on. Porch side molly drops. Balcony cleared. Flash towards short to indicate the frags could be coming their way. And look at this passive angle from Viz. He needs to get one or they're going to slip. They're going to wrap around. And DJ doesn't have a good weapon to fight over towards long or to be split. Viz needs both. Viz needs both.
Viz spots them coming in towards his crosshair. Not a single kill yet. Now he goes to Library. He's just giving them exactly what they want, and that's the control towards Speedway. This is going to put pressure now on Pwn Alone. Here's the fight in two fronts, and the call has been made. They're coming towards CT. Now spotted! Headshot for Fur. Now 3 players left for Party Astronauts to keep their major dream alive in this series. And Flash goes in through the smoke.
Desperate.
Viz charges through. Fur has found it. And now 2 players left. It surely looks done. DJ gets one through the smoke. Vinny holds the banana play. Benleek needs this. Vinny's angle strong. And that should be it. DJ now with a 1v3 to stop Imperial from heading back to the majors. And they will head there. 16-12. Imperial are heading to Antwerp.
Beautiful stuff right here. They battled through. They battled through. Big smiles on the faces here. It's not an MIBR level of celebration, but they have to be happy with this. A 3-map affair. We got everything we wanted and more here. The hugs are going to come on out, and that B bomb site. They pick their poison. They continue.